Hey everyone, my name is Tracy, and I would really like to talk to you about my relationship with I'm going to say the word, with the bucket diet, and just basically how it's changed my life. A little backstory, I am 34 and have been dieting for about 20 years. My father has been dieting for about 30 years. And I recently asked him that because it seemed like he had been dieting my whole life, and I wanted to see if I had been misremembering it. And he said, no, that's about right. Um, he works out like probably 5 days a week, just really consistently. He does karate, Shotokan, jiu-jitsu, like a bunch of different stuff. He's 70 years old, and he has gotten a lot of different black belts because he's just that awesome, and he's traveled the entire world doing it. So he's very consistent about working out, not just for vanity, but because he enjoys it. My mom also diets, even though I think that she looks fabulous. I would love to be her size. But my whole life, Dad tended to do more Atkins, which turned into keto, and Mom bounced around with a lot of different diets and meal plans and shake plans, as well as your keto and Atkins. My brother has pretty much always maintained a healthy weight, but he is looking to gain some muscle, and so I guess the appropriate thing is to lose fat first, but he's currently dieting. And that's just what we do. Personally, I gained a lot of weight due to one particular medication that I was put on, which I might speak on a little bit in the description. But since getting off of that drug, other doctors have said to me that it was inappropriate for me to have been put on that particular drug because it is in a class that is considered to be weight gainers. So since I was in my early 20s, I've probably gained about 100 pounds. In addition to just really wanting my old body back, which I was very proud of and used to work out for religiously. In addition to that, I found it important to diet as a means of keeping myself from just going crazy around sweets. I had this sweet tooth that just wouldn't quit. I think at my worst, I ate probably 75% of a family-sized pack of cookies, and I was so embarrassed that I hid them, and then the next morning I hightailed it to the store and bought a replacement package and put it back in the cabinet, and I never told my husband what I did. So it was very hard for me. I had a lot of impulses. I had very, very low willpower around sweets and also around just comfort foods. I chose to eat what I wanted because it was just a way to release, stress and just feel not better about myself, but just better for a moment. Excuse me. So, basically, at one point I had been doing keto myself very, very rigidly. I was very serious about it. I was also doing 1 meal a day intermittent fasting simultaneously. And one morning I woke up and I weighed myself, and I had gained 5 pounds. And I said to myself, no problem, it's water weight, it'll come off in a few days by the end of the week. But 2 weeks later, I hadn't lost any of the 5 pounds, and I was livid, I was distraught. I put so much effort into not only just doing the diet, but studying the diet to make sure that all my I's were dotted and my T's were crossed, making sure that there was nothing like cough syrup. Those have carbs, you know, like I was really researching it, making sure there was nothing that I could be using that could be hindering my results, and I didn't know what to do. If I had plateaued, that might have been one thing, but to have gained 5 pounds for no reason and that fast, I lost it. And I thought, I can't do this anymore. I'm not going to diet again until I figure out what works for me, what's going to work for me, before I invest in the money and all the food and the books. And so I stopped. And I don't know how I came across it, but I ended up buying the Fuck It Diet, the book. Then I also bought the audio book later on, but I read half of the book, or the first however little bit, that tells you basically how to do what you're going to be doing. And my husband was like, I don't really understand how you're going to gain control over food by just eating food. And I said, I don't know, but I'm going to do it. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to eat everything. And I put the book down. I just got distracted. I kind of forgot about it for a while. It was at least 3 or 4 months. And then I happened to just, I don't know, be tidying up or something, and I found the book again. So I started reading it, and on almost the very next page, when I started reading it, it said, how to tell if it's working. So, that part was a huge, huge wake-up call for me, because, shut up, dishwasher, because everything on that list was happening to me. My husband and I had noticed some changes in my eating habits, like, this is probably the longest that this food type has ever lived in our house before. Or, you know, I think we actually had to throw away multiple packs of cookies because they were not resealable and they were not eaten and they had become stale. Which, you know, I do want to say that food waste is not my goal. Now that I'm, you know, kind of understanding what my needs are, I'm buying less. So I don't want to brag about throwing away food. That's not my goal here. But it was just really unusual, because usually those food items would be snatched up with the quickness. So, on that list, everything she said would happen has happened, and then some. So I am better able to understand my hunger cues. I can tell when I'm kind of interested in eating something just a little nimble because I'm bored, versus I'm still hungry, versus maybe I'm not getting enough of a certain micronutrient or something, so like this one thing I'm craving, and I have just a reasonable amount of that food item, and or a supplement or something, and then I feel fine. The biggest thing is that I don't feel like I'm at the mercy of these inanimate objects. Like, they have control over me. When the waitress comes and says, are we doing dessert? You know, it's like yeah, no, I'm good. Like, it's not a hopeful thing. Do I still like sweets? Of course. But, overdoing it, I have realized, makes me feel not so great. Even if I don't feel like I'm gonna, like, upchuck, you know, it's just like, yeah, I ate too much of that. I didn't really enjoy it. Hold on. Sorry, I'm overcoming a little bug. I don't know if you can tell in my voice, but anyway, it is not even just sugar. I'm not as drawn to foods that are quite as decadent. For example, there is a burger bar not too far from where I live that has a burger that literally comes with a side of gravy for dipping in. And I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with that once in a while or however you do you live your life, but for me, I used to like go nuts over that burger. It had so much cool stuff on it. It had like an onion ring on it, I think. So much cheese, and now I look at that and I just like, I could eat it, but I probably eat like half of it just because of the richness. And it's not like it is and it isn't mental. Like, I've lost that attachment to this might make me feel whole for a minute, and then it's just like, how is this going to affect my body? And I don't mean physically, I mean, is this going to upset my stomach? Is it going to make me feel like really bloated and just kind of over full when I finish eating it? So that's a really nice benefit too. So have I lost any weight? Honestly, no. It's been a while since I picked up that book, including the 3 or 4 months where I wasn't really reading it. It's probably been about a year now since I picked it up. But overall, I feel like I'm in control of food. I feel like I'm in control of my body. And there's just one thing that I'm going to use to illustrate my point. So I was recently gifted a cake decorating class with my BFF, and it was a really great experience. We had a lot of fun together. Please don't make fun of my cake. It actually has halfway melted when I forgot it in my car and went for a walk. So I've already had a birthday cake this year, and I really don't need another one, and I just don't think that it's going to be eaten. And this never would have happened ever in the past, but I'm just gonna and that's more symbolic of me just being in charge, being my own person, and you know, being free from cake and cookies and pies. Honestly, I'd rather just have a nice cup of chai and I'm good. So I hope that answers any questions that you may have had. Feel free to ask if not. And you all have just a really lovely day.